Hi everyone, recently Money Control published a report on mid-cap stocks that India's large-cap mutual funds love to hold. And when I looked at this stock list, I found it very interesting. There were some great stock names in that list. In total, it included analysis from top 14 mutual fund houses and stocks that are part of their multiple schemes. So in today's video, I want to discuss those stock names. This would give you a good understanding of some common mid-cap stocks where India's top mutual fund houses have strong conviction. I also went one step ahead to dig deep and identify stocks that are common among all 14 mutual funds. And then I created an Excel to filter stocks where mutual funds have increased their shareholding in latest June quarter. Then filter stocks that have high profitability, stocks with high earning growth, stocks with low P ratio, etc. Now what I want from you is comment and mention stocks that you want me to analyze in depth. And I will cover the most popular stocks based on the comments in my coming videos. Alright, let's get started. Now let us first start with the favorite mid-cap stocks of SBI Mutual Fund. But before that, let me clarify this portfolio was as on June 30, 2022 and it only includes actively managed schemes and hybrid schemes, right? So the first name is Page Industry, that is part of 18 schemes within SBI Mutual Fund portfolio. Then second is Max Healthcare, that is part of 12 schemes of SBI Mutual Fund House. Then you have Procter & Gamble, which is part of 9 schemes. Then Solar Industry, which is part of 2 schemes. Then Delivery, which is the recent IPO, it is part of 7 scheme of SBI Mutual Fund. Then you have MRF, part of 2 schemes. Relaxo Footwear, part of 8 scheme. Then TVS Motor, part of 11 scheme. And then NHPC, part of 4 scheme, and Cummins India, part of 4 scheme. So among all these top stocks, the top 3 holding of SBI Mutual Fund include Page Industry, that is part of 18 scheme, then Max Healthcare, part of 12 scheme, and then TVS Motor, part of 11 scheme. Next we have Sdfc Mutual Fund, and its top holding include your Power Finance Corporation, that is part of 10 scheme, REC, part of 9 schemes, Max Healthcare, again part of 7 scheme, Indian Hotels, which is your Taj Group of Hotel, part of 5 scheme, Hindustan Petroleum, part of 14 schemes, SKF India, part of 7 scheme, Lupin, part of 10 scheme, Ipca Lab, part of 8 schemes, Balkrishna Industry, part of 3 scheme, and Aurobindo Pharma, part of 11 scheme. Now if you look at the top 3 holding of Sdfc Mutual Fund, it include your Hindustan Petroleum, which is part of 14 scheme, then Aurobindo Pharma, part of 11 scheme, and then you have Power Finance Corporation and your Lupin, which is part of 10 scheme. Next we have the Kotak Mutual Fund House, and it includes Thermex, which is part of 9 scheme of Kotak Mutual Fund, AU Small Finance, which is part of 11 scheme, Shuffler India, part of 9 scheme, Coromandel International, part of 13 schemes, Persistent System, part of 9 schemes, Jindal Steel and Power, part of 8 scheme, Solar Industry, part of 10 scheme, Supreme Industry included in 10 schemes, Ramco Cement included in 14 schemes, Bata India included in 13 schemes. Again, if you look at the top stock holding, it includes Ramco Cement with 14 schemes, then you have Bata India and Coromandel International, that is part of 13 scheme, and then you have your AU Small, which is part of 11 scheme of Kotak Mutual Fund. Next you have Axis Mutual Fund. So what are some of the favorite mid-cap stocks within Axis? PI Industries, part of 10 scheme, Torrent Power, part of 8 scheme, Coforge, part of 10 scheme, Sona BLW Precision, part of 12 scheme, Astral, part of 6 schemes, Sundaram Finance, part of 11 scheme, Motherson Sumi Wiring India, which is the new IPO after the demerger of Motherson Sumi business, it is part of 15 schemes in Axis Mutual. Then you have Tata Elxsi, part of 6 scheme, Persistent System, again part of 7 scheme, Trent, part of 4 scheme. Now if you look at the favorite mid-cap stock of Axis Mutual Fund, it includes Motherson Sumi, part of 15 scheme, then you have Sona BLW, part of 12 scheme, and then you have Sundaram Finance, part of 11 scheme. Next you have Nippon India Mutual Fund. It includes Indian Hotel Company, which is part of 10 scheme, then Linde India, which is part of 4 scheme, Ashok Leyland, part of 10 scheme, Max Financial, part of 8 scheme, Z Entertainment, part of 8 scheme, Varun Beverage, part of 9 scheme, Tube Investment, part of 2 schemes, Honeywell Auto, part of 6 schemes, Aditya Birla, part of 8 scheme, and Naveen Fluorine, part of 2 scheme. Again, if you look at the top 3 holding of Nippon India, it includes your Indian Hotel Group, then your Ashok Leyland, both 10 schemes, then you have Varun Beverage, part of 9 schemes, and then you have Max Healthcare, Z Entertainment, and Aditya Birla, that are in 8 schemes of Nippon India. Then you have Mirae Asset Mutual Fund, and it includes Max Financials in 9 scheme, TVS Motor in 7 scheme, SKF India in 4 scheme, Shriram Transport in 6 schemes, India Energy Exchange in 4 schemes, Sona BLW Precision in 4 scheme, Quantum Grieve in 5 scheme, JK Cement in 4, Voltas in 7, and then Ashok Leyland in 5. So top 3 picks include your Max Financials, then followed with your TVS Motor as well as Voltas in 7 scheme, and then you have Shriram Transport in 6 schemes. Next you have Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund. It includes Honeywell Automation in 12 schemes, Bayer Crop Science in 9 scheme, Crompton Greaves in 19 schemes, Fortis Healthcare in 17, GlaxoSmithKline Pharma in 8, Pfizer in 9, Bata India in 15, Gillette in 5, Atul in 7, and Aarti Industries in 8 scheme. And if you look at the top 3 favorite mid-cap, then it includes Crompton Greaves with 19 schemes, then you have Fortis Healthcare part of 17 schemes, and then you have Bata India part of 15 scheme. Next, if you look at ICICI Prudential Mutual Fund, it includes TVS Motor part of 13 scheme, Lupin part of 19 scheme, United Beverage part of 10 schemes, Max Healthcare part of 12 scheme, LIC Onsens part of 18 scheme, then Federal Bank part of 12 scheme, Ipca Lab part of 11 scheme, Sundaram Finance part of 12 scheme, Phoenix Mill part of 6 scheme, Tata Communication part of 11 scheme. Now if you look at the favorite mid-cap of ICICI Prudential, it includes Lupin followed with LIC Housing Finance and then TVS Motor. Next we have DSP Mutual Fund. It includes Ipca Lab part of 13 scheme, Atul part of 8 scheme, Imami part of 8 scheme, Supreme Industry part of 8 schemes, Coromandel International part of 9 scheme, Bharat Forge part of 8 scheme, Elchem Lab part of 12 scheme, then Container Corporation, Max Financial, Crompton Greaves part of 6 schemes each. So the top holding of DSP include your Ipca Lab in 13, then Elchem Lab, and then followed with your Coromandel International. Next we have UTM Mutual Fund. Its top favorite stock include Jubilant Foodwork part of 11 scheme, Coforge part of 5 schemes, Estel part of 4 schemes, Schaeffler India part of 6 schemes, Crompton Greaves part of 10, Endurance part of 10 scheme, Grindwell Norton part of 6 scheme, PI Industry part of 6, AV Finance part of 2 scheme, Avas Financials part of 5 scheme. So its top holding include your Jubilant Foodwork, then followed with Crompton Greaves and Endurance Technology. Next we have Franklin Templeton India Mutual Fund, that include Ashok Leyland with 5 scheme, then United Beverage part of 5 scheme, Voltas part of 10 scheme, Aditya Birla Fashion part of 8 scheme, Deepak Nitrite part of 2 scheme, Federal Bank part of 5 scheme, ACC part of 5 scheme, Crompton Greaves part of 7 scheme, Imami part of 2 scheme, and Jubilant Foodwork part of 9 scheme. So its top holding include your Voltas followed with Jubilant Foodwork, and then you also have Aditya Birla. Next you have Canara Robeco Mutual Fund. Its top stock include Max Healthcare in 7 scheme, Uno Minda in 7 scheme, Voltas in 6 scheme, Indian Hotels in 7 scheme, ABB in 6 scheme, PI Industry in 6 scheme, again Abbott again in 6 scheme, Naveen Fluorine, Max and Vinti in 5 schemes each. So the top holding include your Max Healthcare, Uno, and your Indian Hotel for Canara Robeco. Next mutual fund is Invesco Mutual Fund, and its top stock include United Beverage part of 9 scheme, Kajaria Ceramic part of 10 scheme, AI Engineering part of 6 scheme, Vinati Organic part of 10 scheme, Uno Minda in 7, Persistent in 6, Voltas in 7, Escort in 4, Sundaram Fastener in 6, and Jubilant Foodwork in 4. Its top holding include your Vinati Organic, Kajaria Ceramic, and your United Beverage. Then you have Motilal Oswal. Its top stock include Tube Investment of India in 2 scheme, Gujarat Gas in 4 scheme, AU Finance in 3, ABB India in 3, Phoenix Mill in 3, Max Healthcare in 4, Vedanta Fashion in 3, then Max Financials in 3, and then CG Power and Voltas in 1 scheme each. Now what I have done is I have dig deep one step further and try to figure out common stock among all these mutual fund houses. Let's have a look. So here is the list of favorite mutual funds that are favorite of more than one mutual fund house. First is Max Financial, that is favorite of 6 mutual fund house. Followed with Crompton Greaves, that is favorite of 5 mutual fund house. Then Voltas, favorite of 5. Persistent System, favorite of 3 mutual fund house. Jubilant Foodwork, favorite of 3. Ipca Lab, favorite of 3. Then all these PI Industry, United Beverage, Max Healthcare, AU Small Finance, and Ashok Leyland and Indian Hotel, they are favorite of 3 mutual fund houses. Then you have a lot of stocks that are favorite of 2 mutual fund houses. It include your Coromandel International, Supreme Industry, Imami, Coforge, SKF India, Astral, Tube Investment, Vinati Organics, Solar Industry, Schaeffler India, Sona BLW Precision, Naveen Fluorine, Atul, Honeywell Auto, and then you have ABB India, then you have Uno Minda, TVS Motor, Bata India, Sundaram Finance, Phoenix Mill, Federal Bank, and Lupin. Now let us look at their breakup and figure out these stocks part of which mutual fund houses. So here is the list. If you see, Max Financial is part of 8 schemes of Nippon, 9 schemes of Mirai, 12 schemes of ICICI, 6 schemes of DSP, 5 of Canara and 3 of Motilal. In total, Max Financials is available in 43 schemes. Then you have Voltas, that is part of 7 schemes of Mirai, 10 of Franklin, 6 of Canara, 7 of Invesco, 1 of Motilal, and in total it is part of 31 scheme. Then you have Quantum Greaves, which is part of 5 schemes of Mirai, 19 of Aditya Birla, 6 of DSP, 10 of UTI, 7 of Franklin, in total part of 47 scheme. Then you have Max Healthcare, which is part of 12 schemes of SBI, 7 of Sdfc, 7 of Canara Robeco, and in total 26 schemes. Then you have Jubilant Foodwork, that is part of 11 scheme of UTI, 9 scheme of Franklin, 4 of Invesco, in total part of 24 schemes. Then you have United Breweries, that is part of 10 schemes of ICICI Prudential, 5 of Franklin, 9 of Invesco, in total 24 schemes. Then Indian Hotel, part of 5 schemes of SDFC, 10 schemes of Nippon India, 7 scheme of Canara Robeco, in total available in 22 schemes. Then you have Ipca Lab, which is part of 8 schemes of SDFC, 11 schemes of ICICI, 13 of DSP, in total part of 32 schemes. Then you have PI Industry, which is part of 10 schemes of Axis, 6 schemes of UTI, 6 of Canara, in total 22 schemes. Ashok Leyland, part of 10 schemes of Nippon, 5 schemes of Mirai, 5 schemes of Franklin, in total part of 20 schemes. Then you have EU Small Finance, part of 11 schemes of Kotak, 2 schemes of UTI, 3 schemes of Motilal, in total part of 16 schemes. Likewise, you have Persistent, Bata, Navin Fluorine, TVS Motor, and all of that. I don't want to get into this detail. I have already included this Excel sheet in my website. I'll show you how you can access that. But before that, I also want to show you some of the breakup in terms of the percentage change in DIs. So which DIs have increased their shareholding? What are those stocks? So if you just sort this list in terms of high to low, there you go. So this is the breakup as of Q1 of FY23. So Bata India DIs have increased the shareholding by 2.7%. Navin Fluorine DIs increased the shareholding by 2.52%. TVS Motor by 2.23%. Imami by 2.15%, Max Healthcare by 1.85%, Voltas by 1.61%, Jubilant Foodwork, United Breweries, Indian Hotel, Astral, Ipca, Crompton, and the list goes on. And if you look at the schemes where DIs have exited or reduced shareholding, it includes Coromandel International, Federal Bank, Persistent, Phoenix Meal, Max Financial, Solar Industry, EU Small Finance. Then I've also done breakup in terms of FII holding as well as breakup in terms of debt to equity. So which companies have low to negligible debt. There you can see top schemes with negligible debt. Then there's a breakup in terms of sales in last 5 years, breakup in terms of profitability. So if I just sort it, you can see here that Coromandel International has the highest ROCE, then Supreme Industry, then Imami, Coforge, SKF. By the way, this list is available on my website. Let me just show you how you can access it. So if you just visit my website, on top there's a course section. If you just click over there and if you scroll down, there's an option of free live tracker. This is all available for free. If you just enroll and click on continue, you will see this option of favorite midcap stocks of top mutual fund house and you can access the entire list. So this is it from my side. I hope this video would give you a good understanding of top midcap picks. Now comment stocks that you want me to analyze. And if you find the video useful, do like it and share it. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care.